Hi guys, thanks so much for joining me for this edition of the Slick Cordon. With me I've got Leinster Lightning captain George Dockrell, Leinster Lightning all-rounder Kevin O'Brien, and former Middlesex opener Paul Sterling. And we're just going to have a quick chat about a highlight of last summer, which was the summer smash between Leinster Lightning and Middlesex. And it was one of the things that Cricket Leinster did to celebrate their centenary. So first of all, I'll come to you, George. What kind of way was the dressing room before you came into this match? Were you excited about it?
Yeah, I think the guys were incredibly excited. Obviously with the Interpros being fairly small and the small number of teams, it's you're playing the same two teams a lot of the time, and then to have a team of Middlesex's caliber come over and some of the players they had, and for us to be able to showcase, I think, where we were at with our cricket was incredibly exciting. So I think the whole way in the lead up to the game, we were just so excited to getting out there and put on as much of a show as possible.
Yeah, and you were playing some games against the other two teams in the Interpros that weekend. Was it a good start for you? Did it set you up?
Yeah, definitely. It was nice that we kind of ran it around that T20 festival, and it was a lovely way to start the weekend, and it was such a great day. The weather played its part. There was some outstanding crowd that came in to the game, and to start the weekend with a tight game that went down to the last over was also perfect prep for us.
Really good. And Sterlo, coming to you, how did Middlesex approach the game? Was it any different to how you expected?
I think that they were just buzzing to come over to start with, and we heard, I think probably in about April, May time, that the gap in the season come in the middle, usually lads get a chance to go on holiday and things like that. So we heard that we were going to Dublin, and I think everyone just took to it really well, and they were so excited to come over. I think originally we were supposed to come over the night before, which I think it was a good decision to come on the day because it just made it work a little bit better. Everyone was fresh going into the game. We just played, I think we were just off the back of a championship game just before. And then, they came over really excited because we hadn't played any T20 cricket yet that season. It was just seemed like the stars aligned a little bit to have that game at that time. As you said, George, you had your campaign coming up with Leinster Lightning, and we had ours starting, I think, in roughly about 10 days' time. So it just worked perfectly, I think.
And did you feel afterwards that you got the preparation that you wanted out of it for your campaign coming up?
Yeah, it also helped that we probably didn't have a couple of real big England stars there. So it made the competition within the side even more great. There were a couple of youngsters that came in and batted as well. So I think just add a little bit of depth to the squad as well and get some match practice underway. But I think the real delight about it was it's almost a festival feeling. I think it's a different type of cricket than we're used to playing. The result isn't necessarily the main achievement. You want to make sure that people who paid for their tickets and come and have a good day. And I think from my point of view, entertainment outed sort of the competitive edge of we have to win this and we have to get our campaigns off to a good start. I think just seeing people smiling and all the families there on the side, I think that was certainly our main aim, was to make sure that they didn't go home disappointed.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way of looking at it. Kevin, you're from Sandymount, and this game was maybe not your home club, but across the road. How did it feel playing a game of this caliber, kind of nearly on your home turf, well, certainly in your neighbourhood?
I think the standard of cricket was amazing, as the two boys have said. It was a fairly high-scoring game, and the wicket in Pembroke was pretty good, pretty true, and it allowed batsmen to score freely. I think, as George said, it was perfect prep for us before the Interpro T20 kicked off the following day. And for the Middlesex boys, it was a great opportunity for them to practice some T20 before the blast. So, it's just to play in front of 1,700 people or whatever it was, effectively in a club game or in a club ground. Sorry. It was a great atmosphere. Everyone went home happy, as Sterlo said, and it was a very good match and a very high standard of cricket. So hopefully, going forward, we at Leinster Lightning, I say, and the Leinster Cricket Union can put on some more events like the Summer Smash last year, and it will be great for the cricketing public to be able to see games like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a disappointment that we don't manage. We're not going to manage to have something similar this year. But going on to the actual game, George, you won the toss and bowled first. Was there any talk specifically about getting Sterlo out early on, or was it just focusing on the team in general?
I was a little bit worried. I think it was the first over. Sterlo pulled one up over the clubhouse and went about 20 meters.
Top edge, I think there. I think you're being nice to me there.
Could have been, but either way, the ball went a long, long way away. And I was kind of thinking, there's a lot of people here who probably watched Sterlo get a lot of runs, and they're probably here to watch the other Middlesex batsmen. Thought it'd be fitting if he went and got 100, but thankfully we got him out maybe a few overs later, which was a little bit relieving for us. I think it was talking in our head of people saying, well, you played against him for 12 years, how can you not get him out now? So thankfully that went away pretty quick. But yeah, you obviously got them off to a decent start, and they kind of continued that on through their innings and ended up posting a pretty good total.
And conversely, Sterlo, did you go into it thinking that you wanted to put on a show and kind of show what county cricket's all about? Or George just said that they should know how to get you out, but you've faced them loads of times, so maybe you knew how to score the runs against them.
Well, I've roomed with George for about 10 years, and I was cacking myself that I take the mick out of George that he can't turn the ball, and if I came to Dublin and he nicked me off the first slip and ragged one past me or got stumped, I wouldn't hear the end of it. So that was my first concern. So I think I probably got out to Josh in the face that I didn't want to face George coming out of the power play. So just got out at the right time. Just had to make sure my roommate didn't get me out.
It wasn't no bragging rights, was it?
George, you missed your trick. You should have opened the bowling. Next time, George, you know how to get him out. You open the bowling.
I was thinking the same thing. As long as Sterlo was still batting, I wasn't going to come on. If he was there in the 18th over, I still wouldn't have bowled.
Yeah, captain's prerogative.
I tried to take you down anyway, but
I'm looking forward to seeing that battle now if we get some T20 interpro cricket between the two of you. So, Middlesex posted a good total of 182. Kev, you were opening the batting for Leinster Lightning. What were your thoughts going into the second innings?
No, it helped that Gareth got, the way he plays, it kind of, it takes the pressure off me at the non-strikers end. So it's a little bit like when I opened with Sterlo for the Irish team. So, all I've got to do is get one run and let the two lads do their business. So I think Gareth got 60 odd, and kind of took the power play on nicely and got us into a really good position. Unfortunately, we kind of probably let it slip a little bit, but I think ultimately it was a great learning experience for us as a squad. To be in a position to beat Middlesex, and probably we should have beaten them, to be honest. Ultimately letting it go at the last minute. Hopefully we've learned from that as a squad, and can take it into our coming games.
Yeah, I mean, you finished the power play on 66, the two of you still at the crease, and it was just after that you got out, and Gareth made a great 51, which was brilliant for the Pembroke crowd to see. And it was a huge occasion for cricket Leinster.
And he actually got an unbelievable catch as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a great
unbelievable catch.
Yeah, it was only he bowled an over that went for a few. That was the only black spot for Gareth. But I mean, I think it kind of showed where he was going to go with his career, maybe a bit, in the next 6 months after that.
The skipper didn't help him out, obviously.
Didn't hit the right field.
Bowling, shocker.
Look, like you said, it was a really tight match, and I think both groups learned a lot. Nick Gubbins scored a really good 75 for Middlesex, which I'm sure stood to him. But I think the overriding thing that people remember from the weekend is nearly the crowd, and then after the match, the celebrations of just being able to get away from England. Middlesex stayed over for the weekend. Sterlo, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was brilliant. We were so excited about the trip, and we got the match out of the way, so to speak. And I think everyone just relaxed and had so much fun. We don't get an opportunity too much to have a whole week off in England. I think that's one of the downsides, that you're constantly playing, you're always on the ground, you're always travelling. So then just to relax, go to somewhere that you haven't been, bit of a fresh approach, and then for basically the whole spread that we put on for us in the bar afterwards, dinner, food, speeches, a couple of drinks. It was a fantastic night, and I think everyone should let their hair down, because you're always wound up as a cricketer. You're always thinking, oh, when's my next knock? Where's my next run coming from? And I think everyone, from the players to the staff, I think just when let's let loose here, and we had the whole day in Dublin the next day as well, so there was no angst at all. It was just a perfect night.
Brilliant. And George, just back to you about the occasion, what did it feel like being able to host a game like this against a top county team and bring them to the last over and really feel like you threw the game away in some respects? Does it kind of show how far interpro cricket has come in the last few years?
Definitely, yeah. You know, from when the Interpros have started, obviously we've been trying to build year on year and increase that level of cricket. And as I said, you know, when you're playing the same team, sometimes it's tough to tell where you're at on that kind of, you know, global scale. So to have a team, you know, a county team come over, and also Middlesex with the players they had, you know, bringing over was so brilliant for us. And, you know, as we said, someone like Gareth Delaney, who has probably come through the Interpro system, he's one of the guys who's come through that pathway, and for him to be able to open the batting against, you know, Steve Finn, you know, that kind of thing was invaluable. And you see people playing at that level. So yeah, for us, it was great to be able to see, you know, where we're at, where interprovincial cricket in Ireland is at. And I think also just great to see how Cricket Leinster went, you know, about putting together that game and how they planned it all. And it went so well. And it was great to see that there's an appetite there in Dublin to come and watch games like that in the future, having sold out the tickets. So for us, after that game, it was just a lot of positives and something we definitely want to do again in the future.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I really look forward mostly to seeing you take each other on when Sturlo starts playing for the NCU. And I'm looking forward to no injuries, Sturlo. Kev, you might need to make a comeback with the bowling, see if you can just nip one back. No chance.
I'm not bowling to Sturlo, no chance.
I think I'm 1-0 up on you, Kev, from Bangladesh, so we'll see who comes through next time. But quite don't fancy on a green nipper, like.
Yeah,
it's
just
gonna
wait
stay
and
that
see.
way, mate. My bowling boots are gone.
How far can you stand outside the crease? Is it same rules?
Not too sure.
Yeah. Stop going down to the playing area. But yeah, I look forward to seeing it, and thanks so much for joining me. We'll hopefully see you again on the slip Cordon soon.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,